Hi, I'm Marlo from Wild Food UK. It's the 12th of October and I'm in my garden so that I can show you some really nice garden berries that you might be surprised that you can eat. And I'm starting off right here. Here's our Fuchsia, very recognisable flower. We get lots of different types of Fuchsia in the UK. They're all cultivated. I don't know of a wild variety. I'm not sure where this originated from, to be honest. But on our Fuchsia, we get these lovely flowers. And at the top there, you can see the start of what is going to turn into our Fuchsia berry. And there is a mature one slightly less mature beside it. Down here, there's another one that's even darker in colour. And these Fuchsia berries are edible. In fact, on this particular bush, they taste just like grapes. They're really, really lovely. So if you've got a fuchsia in your garden, it should have berries on it right now. And if you've got the time, go outside, have a nibble and see if you've got one of the nice ones. Some of the fuchsias in the UK do have this kind of weird peppery aftertaste, which isn't particularly pleasant. But like I say, this one is a lovely little treat. I don't make anything out of it. I just use it as a little nibble when I'm walking around the garden. Over here beside it, we've got this big rose, which has gone very wild. And you can see those red rose hips all over it. Now those rose hips are very useful. They're full of vitamin C for a start, and they are a lovely flavouring. Mainly for me, I make rose hip syrup. I don't do much else with them apart from I will put them into a mixed fruit leather, and they don't really add a huge amount of flavour in a mixed leather, but they do add a fair bit of bulk. Rose hip syrup though is lovely. I won't linger on this, but just be aware, any rose in the UK has edible rose hips. You've got to watch out for the hairy stuff in the middle though. Make sure you get rid of that before you start making anything out of your rose hips. Now over here we have what's called the Gelder Rose. You can see these berries all over it, looking much like currants actually, and the leaves aren't too dissimilar to the leaves of a currant. Now I believe these berries are edible, but they are one of the most disgusting flavoured things you could ever eat. So that's all we have to say about the Gelder Rose. Let's have a look at something a little bit nicer. Going round our yew hedge here, which has been trimmed, so there's no berries on this that I can see, but we've got this lovely big yew tree here. And on our yew tree at this time of year, you get loads of these red cup-shaped berries. There's a nice one nestled in on what is an Irish yew. You can see the needles go around the twigs, the stems, rather than coming out opposing each other. Now these berries are actually delicious, or rather the flesh on the outside of the berry is delicious. On the outside of the pip, rather, most importantly. There's the pip inside. Now, I've done a video on the yew tree before, so you might know about the berry already, but if you haven't seen that video, be aware this is a deadly poisonous tree. It's full of something called taxine, and it's a poison that is deadly to most mammalian life, as far as I know. 25 needles could potentially kill you if you ate them, and that same poison is in that pip. But the flesh, the aril on the outside of the pip, tastes like a lychee. It's one of the sweetest fruits that we have in the UK, and it's easy to avoid swallowing the pip. You have to do that though, so that's all you do. You squeeze off the flesh or the aril from the outside of the pip with your tongue, because they're a particularly juicy berry and you can do that really easily without damaging the pip at all and just get rid of it. Now, I'll personally put 10 of these berries in my mouth at once without any issue whatsoever, get all of the juice off of them, like I say, with my tongue, and spit out all 10 pips quite easily. If you're doing that though, make sure you count them in and you count them out. Do try a yew berry, but don't swallow the pips. Now for the most surprising one of the berries I'm going to show you today. Bit of a walk. Got a lot of gardening to do in here in autumn. Over to this lovely looking plant here. These have all gone a little bit over actually, which from the berries point of view is a good thing. I think if we go around the other side, we might get some better ones. Now this is a plant I call the pheasant berry. It's also called Himalayan honeysuckle. Yeah, this is another plant, and these are its berries. Very distinctive, the way they sort of hang down like a red tiered chandelier. And the berries are the most surprising flavour I'm going to tell you about today. Now, on here, we've got some young ones. See those ones that are red? And this one here that's slightly darker. Both of those are worrying me because before these berries are overripe, they taste absolutely foul. But just back here, there's one that's gone deep purple. You can see that there. And when they go that colour, and when they're squidgy, as you can see there, and almost overripe, starting to go rotten, they have the most amazing flavour. Always a bit of a worry in case you've got one a bit too young, but this one's not. It's perfect. And what I'm getting there is a toffee-like flavour, the flavour of burnt caramel. It's really, really surprising when you first experience the flavour of a pheasant berry. I think it's Lycisteria formosa in your gardener's books, or Himalayan honeysuckle. But there you go. 5 berries or fruits, if you like, to look out for in your garden. Just ignore the Gelder Rose. If you want to find out more, go to www.wildfooduk.com.